Hi everybody, so today is going to be a twin flame reading for today the 6th until, let's see, the 6th to the 12th. Alright, so I have been meditating on this energy, connecting to the feminine and masculine essence within myself, and also I called to the physical incarnation of my divine masculine. Okay, so there have been a ton of changes in regards to the collective. So many that I can't even begin to share them individually. So we're going to do a reading, and I have full faith that they will all come out accordingly. All right, so we will start with the divine feminine energy. Clear. All right, so divine source, love and light, divine loving heart of the universe. I ask that you deliver the collective messages in regards to the feminine energy. All ascended masters are welcome here. Thank you for the protection. I did create a sacred space around this area before I began this video. Okay, so what is the current physical energy of the divine feminine? Current. All right, so we got the Three of Swords. So the current physical energy is the feminine is healing her heart and healing mental blocks. So because there's no blood around this heart and their swords represent mental space, she is healing her heart. So she's healing feelings of rejection, abandonment, and failure. And this is the end of this healing cycle. She's been healing this for quite some time now. She also is releasing any attachments to the physical incarnation of her divine masculine. So she's connecting more to her own being versus the divine feminine used to be in this waiting period for the divine masculine, but now she knows that she was the one running from herself. It was never that person to begin with. It's never about the other person. It's always about ourselves and what's going on within ourselves. So that person is just there to act as a divine mirror. So she is truly releasing the attachment to any outcomes and physical beings around the label twin flame. So, Spirit, what is the emotional space of the divine feminine? This one really wanted to come out. So we got the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is all about having blind faith. It's also about making a decision. So I've been receiving this message a lot lately that the divine feminine is at a crossroads in regards to another being. So there is the divine masculine that she believes to be the one, And then there's also going to be or is another person that is coming in to either trigger the divine masculine through his awakening and transformation process, or that divine feminine is going to choose to release that person that she believes to be the one at that time, and she's going to be moving into a new twin flame relationship or dynamic. So she's in a little bit of conflict in regards to her emotional space because she's working on releasing this attachment. And this may also be why this is coming through, why the divine is placing this situation in her life, because she is working on releasing this attachment and working through those fears. This is coming through to assist her and the divine masculine energies in releasing any attachments. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the person that you believe to be the one, your twin flame, isn't that person. It's all internal, and anybody that is presented to you in your physical reality is a reflection of something that you need to heal. So release the idea of, is this person the one? Are they not the one? It's never about that. It's always about what needs to be healed within you. What is the mental space of the divine feminine source? Okay. This actually came in upside down. I really wanted to turn it around, but the divine's saying, nope, upside down. So, the Two of Pentacles. So this actually, what this is saying to me is that she is balancing out her mental space. I'm going to get a clarifier on this, so I'm not 100% sure. Source, what do you mean by the Two of Pentacles in reverse in regards to the divine feminine's mental space? What does this mean? Okay. So we got the Temperance and then Judgment in reverse. So there's two cards about balance right here. So she's releasing judgments in her mental space. So it is in regards to some shadow work. So she is integrating her shadow self and clearing old patterns within her mental space. And she is guided and protected in this. Her third eye is awakened. And she's connecting to the infinite creative consciousness within. Anything else, Spirit? So through her mental space, she's balancing out her emotions. Now it's funny because in the mental space, in the emotional space, we have the swords, but in the emotional space, we have the swords, which is mental. And then in the mental space, we have the emotions. So things are really, truly balancing out for the feminine. She is manifesting, and through working through those illusions and clearing those illusions of past hurts, programming, things we were born into, she's able to see and clear any judgments she has about herself. Because judgment in general is a virus in our mind. It's not ever, it does help us in regards to integrating the shadow self. But once that becomes aware, we don't need to wallow in those judgments. We should be releasing them. Okay, so how is the divine feminine feeling in regards to her divine masculine? Okay, so we got the Devil card. So what this is saying is also that we are releasing attachments in regards to, so the Divine Feminine is, so first of all, this represents, my cards are a little messed up, but there's a feminine and a masculine here, and they're tied together. And this is the opposite of the Lover's card. So it's essentially the same card, but it represents the bond between the two. So this also represents sexual energy. So the Divine Feminine is feeling a lot of sexual attraction towards her masculine. She's dreaming about him. She feels bonded to him. She's working on releasing the attachment to him, but with love. So she's also working on releasing any judgments and ideas of what it should look like. Spirit, may I please have a clarifier on this Devil card? How the Divine Feminine is viewing the Divine Masculine, how she's feeling about him. What is her perception of the Twinflame, the Divine Masculine? She also sees him as releasing attachments. So the Divine Feminine is viewing the masculine as going through a dark night of the soul. She is viewing him as clearing attachments. So she had already went through this a few months ago, and actually over the past couple years, while the Divine Masculine anchored in and grounded in through that energy. So the Divine Feminine went through it first, and now the Divine Masculine is going through that. Now, may I please have one clarifier on that? Right, so he's releasing any stuck and stagnant energy in the physical. So he's freeing himself from the chains that have tied him down, and she sees that. She sees that he loves her very much, and that everything that he's going through is a reflection of his life. It has nothing to do with, he loves her and he wants to be with her, and that's a huge motivating factor for why he is doing the things that he is doing. He knows that this is a divine relationship, and she can feel that. So what is the action space for the Divine Feminine? Awesome. So we got the Ace of Cups. So the Divine is assisting the feminine in embodying emotional fulfillment by releasing all these things. She's able to allow the flow she's able to allow the divinity to flow within her. So the action space is to heal any wounds and to accept love, receive love, be the receiver, embody the feminine energy and receive. Okay, so now we're going to do the current energy of the Divine Masculine. Awesome. Okay, so the masculines, their third eye is open. This is in the physical. So they are truly balanced emotionally. They know their divinity. They're aware of their divinity. And they are continuously balancing out the waters, and they're healing their feminine energy. What is the emotional space of the Divine Masculine energy? What is the emotional space of the Divine Masculine? Okay, so the Divine Masculine is healing any feelings of lack. So see how this man is standing here, and he's actually looking at the things that he's lost. versus turning around and looking at the 2 cups that he has behind him. So he is truly healing, and this came up in the feminine's energy like we just talked about. So he's healing any attachments he has to the old of what he thought he needed to be happy, the old stories, the old programming. So he is intentionally healing the lack that he's felt throughout his life. Because he is aware of his divinity, he is able to look at these feelings and know that that doesn't define him as a person. He knows his truth. What is the mental space? Okay. All right, so the Magician in reverse. All right, so this is really interesting. So this card is when we utilize all the elements to shift our reality. So this is super interesting because this is in his mental space. So I feel like he's clearing all the old ways of manipulating and using people to gain for personal gain. So these are all old programmings that we've used through centuries, past lifetimes, both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So, but specifically the divine masculine is because he's aware of his divinity, he no longer can act on these old ways of manipulation and mind control. So he's truly becoming the alchemist of his reality. He's aware that he can shift his reality by becoming one with the elements. This is purity. This is being grounded. It's as above, so below. So he is truly delving into the darkness to clear away the illusions. This is an initiation process for the divine masculine. So how does the divine masculine view the divine feminine? How is he feeling about her? How does he see her? Okay, so he views her as being firm, grounded, standing in her power. He views her as fiery, sensual, sexy, attractive. So she is very much in her masculine energy because she's out there taking action on her soul mission. So he admires that about her. He is truly viewing her as a goddess. She's motivating him to make these changes. He knows that she is a reflection of him. So because of that faith, he is able to walk through these illusions and be the master of his domain. What is the action space of the divine masculine? Okay. So the action space for the divine masculine. So his action space is to move through these stagnant energies. So this is a gestation period, which represents the initiation. And the divine is saying to release any feelings of failure, because this is success, right? And that is his truth. But the divine is saying in his action space that he doesn't need to wait for things to come to him. He needs to continuously be aware that he is the master of his reality, that he is divine, and that he needs to continue to release feelings of unworthiness and feelings of failure. Mostly I'm getting feelings of failure. Also, the divine is saying not to wallow in the things that we've lost. So the divine masculine needs to clear away any feelings of unworthiness in regards to that. So what are the union energies? Okay, so this came up earlier. So this is in regards to release. This is the end of a cycle, the end of the dark night of the soul, the end of mental conflict, and entering into clarity. Union energies. Okay, so we are now able to. We've seen the vision. We hold the vision. And now we are anchoring in the vision in regards to the future, the higher timeline. So this would be our highest timeline. We're holding it down, we're anchoring it in. We can see the truth. We can see where we're going, and we know who we are and why we're here. And I will pull one Oracle of the Mermaid card, and then that will finish off the reading. Okay, so Oracle of the Mermaid, one union card for both the twins. What is the shared energy? Shared energy. Homeland. Arrival, a journey's end, established, building, and settled. Number 44. Fours represent solid foundations. So the twins are, let's see, I'm actually going to look it up. So they have arrived. They are at the end of this dark period. They have built a solid foundation. They're settled in their truth. There is a wisdom in the homelands. There's a part of you that belongs there and a part of you that needs to reconnect at a deep level. Traditions or ancient practices and simple things like recipes, ways of doing day-to-day activities will come to you now. So this is an integration period. So we know that we are at home and we are always together. We're connected to the unity of our soul tribe. We are realizing that there is no such thing as separation, that our home is within our being. So find a place you can call home, settle somewhere for a time, make some commitments to the place you belong. You are a part of it. It is a part of you, and you cannot separate from it without separating from a part of your own soul, your own deep self. All right, so I believe that's it. I hope you all got a message from that reading, and thank you for tuning in. I love you all so much. We are all one. We are all connected, and I hope you have a beautiful day. I love you so much. Namaste.